Okay, cool. All right, we have Viv in the house. Can I get a hell yes? So Vivian, oh my God. So you hit 37,000, okay, on your webinar. How was that for you, first of all? Was that an exciting experience for you to achieve that?
It was a shock because I was terrified of doing the webinar. It's hard when you take somebody else's languaging and try and make it your own and make it not seem cookie cutter. So that was hard, and I wanted it to be successful. And as you know, I've worked with so many different agencies and so many different marketing experts and never had that kind of revenue in 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
So we yeah, that was huge. So yes, I'm excited. And now it's like, okay, now because I have a start date with my course, I did my orientation on Monday, and so it actually starts tomorrow, next Monday. Now I want to get revved up for the January course. And I also want to figure out how people can come on and they be self-paced as opposed to be guided by me, because I realize I'm missing opportunities. So we had this incredible 37,200. And I'm just blown away. Yeah, I'm blown
That's
away.
amazing.
So I now want, so now the ad stopped, of course,
Yeah,
and I wanted to know from you whether it should be now evergreen. So now how do I start to get that
we'll
rolling
get
again?
into that. Don't
Okay.
worry.
So yes,
But
it's been amazing. I'm
where
shocked.
where were you before you came with us? So you'd never really had a successful webinar before, or never made sales to that sort of level?
I never had done a webinar like that before. It was my
Mhm.
first time. Our strategy was social media and ads, and we never had that kind of success. No.
Were you finding you were just, was it because you were too diluted and you were doing too much? And it was, that's what a lot
I
of
think,
people suffer from today, I think, doing too much.
yeah,
And it,
I think so. But I also think that we couldn't really get the message as to what the product was. It was like everything was neatly in a black box, and I think the
mm,
webinar showed more about what's inside the box.
cool. So it was the messaging that was just off point. And
A
it was
big
crazy, like when the messaging's off point, it just doesn't work.
I know, and for me as a hairdresser, and you know, been in the business so long, I had an ego issue with, come on, guys, you know, I've been there, done it. I've got the t-shirt. Why am I begging for you to let me help you? And it's
Yeah.
like I've got the credentials, you know, they're written all over the freaking place. So why am I begging here? And I
Mm.
started to resent my audience. It's like, why are you so dumb?
Yeah, that's interesting. We do hear that a lot because it's frustrating because you've got the skill set, but it's just how you're languaging it so that actually people want to buy it. So, what we do is fast track it, as you know, you
Mm.
cut and paste that process so that, it can have rapid results. And before you joined us, Viv, was there anything that was there anything preventing you from joining a program like this, or because you had done other programs before, they haven't worked, you've spent on agencies, they haven't worked, which is again is a common process. Was there anything specific that stopped you from jumping in on this, or?
No, when I heard you speak, you spoke to every single pain point that I've experienced, and I'd hired a new advertising marketing guru, and she literally took my entire business, ripped it all apart, all in shreds, and then left me. And it was
Mm,
all torn in shreds. And I was so devastated because she promised big sales, big sales. And I thought, okay, this is for me to do now. Things can't get any
yeah.
worse, because I was losing money left, right, and center. So it was like, because you know, it's the messaging I said to myself, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I should stay in my skill set, and I should hire people that know how to do this. And I always
Mm,
did that. I always paid a lot of money for it. And I didn't
mm,
believe I could do it. I'd lost my confidence. I didn't even
mm,
believe in myself as a hairdresser anymore, because it's like people are not buying my goods, so I must be really useless. So I took it very personally that I was a
mm,
total and utter failure. So when this person just ripped everything apart and then just left on some kind of some trip, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in shreds. And I prayed and I meditated and I listened to you on Clubhouse. And that's when I went through the whole process. I didn't read one testimony from your, I didn't read half of your marketing pieces. what you said spoke to my heart, and I
Oh,
thought,
nice.
you can help me, then that's it. And to this day, I've never read one of your testimonies.
No, that's great. You know,
So it
I'm
was
the
just like,
same too. I listen to like the core message and make a decision off the back of that.
yeah.
What do you think what do you think I said that like helped you make that decision quicker?
Um, to stop being spread over all the touch points of the Instagram, the LinkedIn, all the social platforms, the blogs, all of that stuff,
Mm,
magazine that I had. I mean, all the things I did to touch people, you know, look for my lighthouses for them to bring in their audience, all of that stuff. And when you sort of spoke to a system with the templates, with the automation part of it, that's when I thought, yeah, I've just got to make this more simple and get one thing right, because I don't have a formula. So I think your formula was the thing that spoke to me the most, a system that you just do it. So, you know, like I've been through the program now twice. I've listened to some videos like 10 times. You're in the car with me wherever I go. And I'm probably the only one who hasn't done my scoring thing, which I need to figure out how to do, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I make all my little, I have my pads everywhere I go. So, but I still, you know, there's still loads of things I'm doing wrong. And it's also new to me, you know, it still is new.
Oh, Viv, you're so great. Honestly, I really appreciate you. And it's amazing. But when people do it and follow the process and turn up as you do, they do get the result. And you know, it is exactly freely available there. What is it specifically about the program that you like? Is there anything specific so far that really, you know, out of everything? I mean, is it the webinar structures, or is it the funnels, or is it the closer process, or getting the messaging, you know, the offer codex?
Actually, you,
Hey,
you showing
we,
up, your personal touch,
hey,
your sense of humor, which most
I'll
people don't
take
get.
that.
You're so funny, and it goes over most people's heads. But I think you're really funny, which I love the fact that you're so successful and you're so normal, and you're giving me your time. What you've helped me with, though, is rethinking how I teach. And I've taught for almost 40 years, you know,
Mm,
hairdressers. So you've maybe
wow.
read that. You've made me think about, because of my industry, you know, obviously there's a lot of prep to do an event. I'm not a talking head. I'm showing stuff. So I just can't create things on the fly, because
Mhm.
I need bodies. I need, and it's a little bit more difficult. So, but you made me challenge the process of creating a course as you go and really listening more to what people are saying. And I always watch what my audience is saying, because I try and respond to a pain point and go, oh, I can fix that. You know, you're doing that backwards. And if you do it the right way, I can help you, blah, blah, blah. So you've made me think about the way that I teach, the way that I communicate, in the sales process, which is really difficult for me, just shutting up when you say the price. That was huge for me. The webinar structure, I kind of understood, and I kind of get a little cringy around the close, the second part. That's like, ooh, here we go. But you've helped me a lot with that, because you said serve, think about serving, and I can't help people unless I serve them. So that was very helpful. And your feedback, because I think that your feedback to everybody listening to these live calls, you know, when you're asking us to step out of our skill set into a new area, there's so much resistance because we feel uncomfortable, right? And
Mm.
we're good at either being a coach and whatever, and now we're having to become this business person and sell and IT stuff. um, I think you've been really good at helping us through those tough areas.
That's great to hear. I mean, yeah, I mean, I love being there. I mean, a lot of people in my position wouldn't do the coaching live on a weekly basis, twice a week. I think sometimes people are really surprised at that, but it's genuinely because I love it. Like if I didn't have client interaction, and I've tested this, I have fully automated in the past where I've got other people to run it, and I actually miss that. And there's, you know, the way I've set up my life is so that I can stay connected with my client, because that's an important part of also my fulfillment and the reason that I do it. If it's just, you know, money becomes to a stage where it's easy to generate, and it's not the be all and end all of life, and most people don't really get that. But you know, once you get it, honestly, it's creating something that's way beyond just that. And happiness is, you know, it's important to stay connected to a purpose and stay in line with that. Yeah, so I appreciate that because I do love it. And I know the difference it makes with having someone there on a weekly basis. And I know that I can, you know, I just get pumped to see that you guys can get quicker and quicker and quicker. And so, you know, I'm obsessed with the frameworks of getting them faster and faster. Okay, so that being said, Viv, if you hadn't have joined, what would have been the cost for not having access to what you've got now? Because sometimes people watch these and they go, Jesus, like, okay, fine, I know how to do that, know how to do that, but they still haven't really, they haven't got support structures, they haven't got, you know, community around them. What would have been the cost for not joining?
I think I was pretty close to quitting, to closing my business, and I didn't know what else to do because, you know, bear in mind, COVID impacted my industry in a heavy way, big time. So many salons closed and just did not reopen. So um, I was really desperate, really desperate, which is why I think when I was introduced to these shiny toys, these shiny marketing people that said we can transform your business, it was just like, take it. Like I just literally dumped it in their laps, only to find out months later it's going nowhere. So I would have quit.
Wow.
Because there was nowhere else to go. I mean, I was pretty much in ruins because, you know, as you know, I've been in this space for 18 years now, and a lot of these technologies didn't exist when I started. So it's been very exhausting. And I am a fighter and I'm very determined. And we were running at such a loss. I mean, my savings were running out. So having the 37,000 come in that tiny window of time was like miraculous for me. It was like for the first time in 18 years, it gave me hope that
Wow.
I'm not useless. Like it's worth carrying on.
Let's do it. Oh, I'm so excited for you. You're amazing. You are amazing though. Like and I see that in so many people where it's not your skill set to, you know, you know, get the actual transaction of purchase, right? How people buy is today actually a little bit more complicated because most people have been oversold. Buyer's resistance is up, and you know, the world since COVID is online, which means that if you follow like old marketing approaches and it's not, you know, bespoke or individual to you and not tailored, and that's why I'm there on a weekly basis, because that allows my spirit to be injected into you, right? And so, and then how you sell with an authentic voice does make a massive difference, as you can see. And
Yeah.
just think about like the fact that you'd have given up on that, but you'd have also given up on impacting on people doing what you are amazing at doing. And it's like, you know, it's like all of those hairdressers coming through now, you get to impact on them and they see a whole different world because of it, you know?
Well, let's hope I can now deliver, because
You're
Monday
going to
I'm
be
doing
great.
something I've never done before. Because I'm going to do kind of what you do. This
Yeah,
is where you've
it's going to
inspired
be
me.
amazing.
Because they're going to be 10 people on the screen and I'm going to be watching them. I'm going to have all the other people in the gallery observing. I won't see
Mm,
them. And so I'm going to be directing them all and coaching them all and taking them through the program. So, and I've got people who are doing, you know, over 300,000 behind their chair a year.
mm,
And I've got babies who are just graduated from cosmetology school who are making no money. So I've
mm.
got really a huge gap. And it's like, how am I going to pull this together? So the way that you've worked with us has inspired me to try this with my audience. So no
You're
one's
going to
ever
be
done
great.
this. Well, I hope so. Otherwise, it's a
Honestly,
lot of refunds.
no, not at all. Because again, it's coming from a different level of service, you know, and it's it because you're there present. It's like it's not just, you know, charge more, make more money, and then just that's it. No, what happens is I can see already you believe in yourself more, your skill set grows up more, and yeah, the first time you can be a bit nervous, the second time better and better, but you keep on accelerating as a coach because you become better at selling people's objections. You create a signature program that answers those objections. And that's what people don't get access to, Viv. And once you have an asset there that's knocking out their objections, that's getting them results, and it's doing it on scale, we can take that to the moon. So that being said, Viv, I just want to say thank you so much for number one, committing, number one, doing the work, because it doesn't happen without you putting in the effort. And we only work with people that want to put the effort in. And so it's always a privilege and an honor to be part of your special journey. That being said, all right, let's get to your next steps so we can systemize this